You're looking at an overhead diagram of John F. Kennedy High School in Warren, Ohio, where I graduated in 1988. I made this diagram from scratch. It's not precise, but it's roughly on spot for the way the school was set up. This was the main building over here. Most of the classrooms were on 2 floors, along this wall and over here along this wall. The typing room was right over here. But almost everything else is over here and over here. Here's the gym where I made my claim to fame. And in this connector between the gym and the main building, Karen Byers' room is right here. That was the music room. The shop was right here. And then this was a normal classroom over here. And it was the homeroom of the teacher's name was Mike Lapmardo. And that was his room. I don't think he ever taught in any other room. They always left him in that room. And my senior year, I was in his homeroom. Okay. And, I think about at least half, probably more like 70% of the students at Kennedy either drove or got a ride with a classmate. So on any given morning, it would look something like this with the students streaming into class, between 8 and 8:30. I think the bell rang at 8:30. I don't remember exactly. Now, I think that my senior year when I had this homeroom, I was getting a ride with a classmate and neighbor named Ralph. And for whatever reason, we had to get there really early. I don't know what the issue was, but we were early every day. I was one of the first 4 or 5 people to walk into homeroom. And the way this room was set up was Lap had his desk over here. This was the front. Where I'm pointing right now was the front of the room. And like most of my classes throughout high school and college, the students were sat alphabetically in columns. So, my desk was right over here in the far back right, as I had gotten used to. Now, if you remember, in the 80s, Wayfarer Ray-Bans were really hot. Okay, it was like 50s retro had come back. It was like the one cool thing going on while the gay conspiracy started with fashion in the 80s. And I tell you that it's absolutely when the design conspiracy started with 80s fashion. And thank God that Black Crowes put an end to that. But anyway, Wayfarers were really hot. Everybody was wearing them. I remember Huey Lewis used to wear them. Madonna used to wear them. Everybody was wearing Wayfarers. It was 50s retro. I had a pair of knockoff Wayfarers, and I seem to recall that John F. Kennedy used to wear Wayfarers, and he was actually kind of known for it. So every morning when I'd get to school early, I'd take a look at my homework and make sure it was done. Maybe I'd chat with Lap a little bit if he was there. And then I got that stuff done, and I'd have like 10 more minutes. And you know what I would do? Every day when I got to class, I'd show up with my tie untied because I'm lazy. I'm very lazy. That's well documented. So I wouldn't tie my tie until I got to class. And what I would do is after I did the other things I wanted to do, I would stand up next to my desk, and there was a row of windows right here. Okay, and a little grass with some trees. And I would stand up next to my desk and tie my tie, wearing my Wayfarers, looking out the window, watching my classmates and schoolmates stream into the building. Okay, and I look back and I think to myself, why did I do that? Because sometimes I'd get my tie tied and I'd just stay there watching. Sometimes I'd have my arms folded. I would just kind of stand there. And some people commented to me about it a couple times, and I never thought anything of it if somebody thought it was weird or not. And I don't know what my reasoning was. Maybe I was just trying to enjoy, I thought I looked cool, or I was trying to enjoy a beautiful morning before school started. But, I look at back at my situation and a lot of odd things that have gone on in my life. And, I think, maybe I am crazy like everybody says, or maybe there is some significance to me standing in my separate homeroom that's separate from all the other classes in the school, where I had a perfect view right near the entrance of the students arriving at John F. Kennedy High School, as if I had some sort of interest in it. I don't know. Maybe there's some significance to that, and maybe there's not.